It's that time again where I start gushing about aliens. It's one of my favorite topics to discuss. It's the one I get most heated about on stream and have the most absurd conversations with chat on stream about. And yesterday, there was a massive UAP congressional hearing that had some very well established individuals, some very high ranking individuals that were making testimonies under oath about UAPs and government divisions, as well as general information about things relating to UAPs and the government. It's all very interesting, especially because it's coming from people who have real merit here. It's like substantial credibility for the individuals that have come forward under oath to speak on these things. It's not like they just grabbed random nobodies, right? They didn't go out there and find Jericho Sloppenheim, who goes to the congressional hearing talking about how the green guys from space probed his chocolate starfish. This is very buttoned up people that have come forward to talk about these things and blow the whistle on UAP departments, even talking about how some people were injured during UAP retrieval programs, and it is fascinating. I haven't had the chance to talk to my father about all of this, whom all of you know is the preeminent expert on anything extraterrestrial. He is the world's best when it comes to anything alien related. I'm sure right now he's hunkered down, doodling away, crunching numbers, theorizing things, all from these new testimonials that have come forward. But I think it's important to note that they don't present any like physical evidence. The evidence that gets presented here about the UAPs and everything is testimonial, which is real evidence, but I don't want anyone coming into this expecting them to wheel out the corpse of the fucking Martian Manhunter or something something, or have like an alien smoking a cigarette talking about his time in deep space and his journey to get to Earth. That doesn't happen. Instead, they are talking about departments and different things that have been going on for a while in regards to non human crafts. And one of the biggest ones is about the Immaculate Constellation program, which is now fully available for anyone to go out there and read, which I think is a very cool thing to do. And also, fully available for anyone to go out there and read about the Immaculate Constellation program, which is now fully available for anyone to go out there and read, which I think is a very cool thing to do. And also, there was this moment. Now, I learned about it on stream last night, so I didn't get to do a huge deep dive on stream, but this morning I spent quite a bit of time going over a lot of like the big moments, and this one really stood out to me.
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication with a non-human life form?
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble two F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
That's pretty big. big considering this is all under oath. And this is someone who was once a counterintelligence operative for the government. Like, this isn't just some random, fucking weirdo in their basement who's locked themselves away feeding into delusions. This is someone that did have a pretty powerful position, at least as I understand it, and many others who came forward here the same. They all had positions that have real merit for what they're talking about. So it is a big deal to have these testimonials. Now, as I discussed on stream, I still believe aliens are absolutely out there in the universe. Those slimy weasels, I know they're out there having a hoot and a holler, but I truly, sincerely do not believe they have ever been to this little fucking space rock. I just don't. I just think it is so unbelievably unlikely, and if they ever did visit us, we would never know because their technology would be so far beyond our comprehension, and there's no way we'd be able to actually even see it at any point, let alone retrieve some kind of crash. Like, the odds of them crashing in here, there's a higher chance that I get a growth spurt in my 30s. Like, it's just so unlikely. Now, I don't believe anyone during the congressional hearing was lying under oath. Absolutely not. I have no doubt that everyone that was testifying and giving their statements was being 100% truthful. I believe all the departments are real departments. I believe all the programs are real programs, all of that they spoke about. I believe in this case, they believe that there was a real nonverbal communication with a non-human entity. But there's no physical evidence that was presented. There's nothing that was presented that convinces me that, oh, it really was aliens. I know they're being truthful. Like, I'm very confident in that, but that doesn't mean that it's absolutely aliens. For example, this statement about, like, definitively, yes, we have had nonverbal communication with non-human entities. Well, we also thought that back in the 70s with the WOW signal. And there's still a lot of people who believe the WOW signal is irrefutable proof of intelligent life out there, but I just think there's more evidence to suggest that it isn't. There's a lot of other explanations for what the WOW signal really is. Like, just because he believes that there was 100% definitive communication with a non-human entity doesn't mean that that's what it was. There could be something else to explain it, and since we weren't presented with any of what that is, it's now just, okay, I guess I have to assume it was aliens because he believes it's aliens, It's just hard to get me to 100% say, like, yes, it's aliens. I desperately want to. I would be extremely happy to be proven wrong about my take that aliens have never visited us. But at the moment, there just still isn't that proof that gets me there and convinces me of that. But hopefully this is the start of more and more conversations and more information about UAPs and the government's involvement with UAP programs and departments. Maybe we can get some more declassified information and evidence of anything of non-human origin. That would be extremely exciting. If that information and that content exists, I would love for that to start being shared. And this seems like a good step in that direction if all of it truly is of non human origin. So hopefully, this is just the first of many UAP breakthroughs. Did you watch the UAP Congress hearing today? Apparently, it was earth shattering. The UAP thing was today? I'll definitely take a peek. I feel like if this actually was groundbreaking, my dad would have called me ASAP with a big I told you so.
Live for us on Capitol Hill. Joe, you were in the room for that more than 2-hour hearing. What did you learn?
Aliens are real. You won't believe it. And they want to suck my dick right now.
If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
No, my buddy Eric makes them in his
That's
garage.
precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective,
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
it may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force technology,
What? Maybe both. Like they're working together, or like there's different UAPs? I don't think they could both be true, right? They're private company aliens. Oh, of course, yeah. What's next? You gonna tell me the aliens unionized or something? Yeah, whatever. Man, I wish they just had 3 titties.
to discuss.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals.
It's like the Suicide Squad.
My book through the
They got like that
process,
thing in their
which
neck gonna blow his head off if he talks about it.
reviewed, and what is in the book is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes,
That's not.
Secret UAP crash retrieval programs.
is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
That's not. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they were successful. That just means they might have seen something and then tried to go get it and reclaim it, believing that it could be a UAP. And then what they found could have very well been just my buddy Eric's man-made doohickey. But that would be cool if they have retrieved some.
Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
So those 2 yeses right there at the end, very important there. Now, just shortly after that hearing, that was Congresswoman Nancy Mace
Yeah.
sharing.
I mean, it's cool to hear, but that's not surprising. I don't think aliens have ever visited Earth. I've made that very clear. I know aliens are out there. I think it's unlikely that we're the only intelligent life. I just don't think they've ever been here. I truly don't. But it's not surprising me to hear, like, I'm assuming it's true because he's under oath, that they had like a program to go retrieve it and try and like reverse engineer it. That doesn't mean that it ever found or produced anything, right? Like, I've had times where I've gone out trying to get laid. I didn't get laid. Shit, I didn't meet anybody. You know? Like, it's you know, you can have those plans, you can try and do those things. It doesn't necessarily mean that it worked. But I think the question should be, have they ever retrieved anything of extraterrestrial origin? Because you can have a department dedicated to reverse engineering it if it's ever retrieved. The question should really just be, have we ever actually gotten anything of extraterrestrial origin? That's what I want an answer to, and some evidence of.
Yes.
See, That's not confirmation they ever got one. Again, that is a program that would aim to retrieve them if there was any. Like, I feel like there's millions. Like, we have a fucking Space Defense Force program, right? They haven't fought off any alien invaders, I'll tell you right now. Apparently, the biggest bombshell during this hearing was documents regarding the Immaculate Constellation program, which is a secret UFO retrieval program the Pentagon is running. They just released them online for everyone to read. Ooh. United States Department of Defense and the intelligence community are withholding information about anomalous phenomena from Congress. It's a testimony from Michael Schellenberger. I do believe we probably have plenty of programs for that. Like, there's no way this guy's lying, not under oath. No shot. I definitely do think there are programs for, like, retrieval of UAPs or, like, any kind of investigation into it, reverse engineering if they ever find one. I just don't think it's ever happened. I don't think there's ever been a alien spacecraft that has ended up here. You don't think UFOs exist at all? I think it is so unbelievably like main character syndrome type shit to think that somehow aliens, if they have faster than light travel or wormhole traveling capabilities, would somehow just crash on our fucking tiny little planet. That would be so unbelievably unlikely because it's incomprehensible to us the technology that they would already have in order to even make it this far. Like, that's so unlikely. And for us to catch a glimpse of them is even more unlikely. If they made it here and we'd somehow see them in a fucking Tic Tac, that's unbelievably unlikely. So the witness is lying? Brother, how many times I gotta say it? No, I don't think they're lying at all. They're talking about programs. I have no doubt these programs exist. Just like we have our Space Defense Force program. But we're not defending the Earth from anything right now. We're not fighting off the fucking Tyranids out there with the space defense program America's got. They exist, I have no doubt. I have no doubt about it. They're definitely not lying. Tic Tac video, probably the most credible we have. Yep, that and the other one from the ship. Those are the two UAP videos that have the least amount of explanation for. What do you think about the theory that aliens created us and are coming now because we're close to ending ourselves? What? I think that's a theory that's based on nothing but someone who really likes anime. If life is found on other moons in our solar system, would people finally stop thinking we are special and we're literally the point of the universe? So for the longest time, I always thought if aliens ever visit us, if aliens ever have visited us and we finally reveal it, I always thought they'd be like a unifying moment because in pretty much every sci-fi property ever, when people speak of humanity or Earth, it's always like one united front of humans. And I always thought if aliens were discovered, that would be that unifying moment where like everyone on Earth comes together. And now I'm 100% sure that would never fucking happen at all. That would just never happen. That just caused so much fucking chaos now. We'd take their oil. Yeah. Man, we would butt fuck them so hard if we could. How disappointed would you be if aliens just looked like humans but with pointy ears or glowing eyes? There is not a single alien design that would actually disappoint me. The only one that would disappoint me is if aliens looked like what that researcher said dudes are going to look like from gaming in 20 years. If they looked like this, then I'd be mad. But anything shy of this, I'm going to be blown away. I'm going to be so happy.
Six years ago, I had it all. 2 years later, I lost everything. Mouth taping changed my